Good evening, everyone. You are all requested to keep your microphones muted during the entire length of the valedictory ceremony. Cameras are appreciated, but not a necessity. Thank you so much.
A very good evening to the distinguished guests. Before we step towards the final stage of today's mega event, let us bow our heads towards the motherland and pay respect to the national song.
Vande Mataram.
A sunset is nothing more and nothing less than the backside of the sunrise. So we believe that this end is only a blessing in disguise. With this beautiful thought in our hearts, I, Namya Lakhanpal,
And I, Aryan Sharma,
accord a glorious welcome to all of you to this valedictory session of the second Dpsgbn MUN'21.
In today's event, we have had deep insights into several global issues. We had with us the eminent committees enlightening us in many ways. As we stand at the threshold of culmination, the event has left us with a thought to reflect and think of our responsibilities as global citizens.
Today's marvelous conference has been a fantastic experience where we had a glance into different nations' diplomacy and negotiations. So let us together once again sail through this remarkable journey by the means of this incredible video of events.
The notion of peace is nothing but to cultivate in our daily life truthfulness, humility, tolerance, love, and kindness. Coming before us is our wonderfully melodious choir to musically whisper into our ears. We are one world, we are the same. In our unique differences, variety is to blame.
कुछ पाने की वो आस कोई अरमा हो जो खास खास आशाएं 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 हर कोशिश में हो बार बार कर दरिया हो तो आर पार आशाएं 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 तूफानों को चीर के मंजिलों को चीर ले आशाएं खिले दिल की उम्मीदें हंसे दिल की अब मुश्किल नहीं कुछ भी नहीं कुछ भी रूठे ख्वाबों को मनाएंगे कड़ी पतंगों को थामेंगे हा हा है जज्बा हो है जज्बा सुलझा लेंगे उसे रिश्तों का मजा सोई तकदीरें जगा लेंगे कल का अंबर भी झुका लेंगे हा हा है जज्बा हो है जज्बा सुलझा लेंगे उसे रिश्तों का मजा 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 मजा
That was indeed a fantastic performance.
There will be obstacles, there will be doubters, but with hard work, there shouldn't be limits. And it's now time to acknowledge the earnest endeavors and talent. I would like to request the executive board members to please take over and declare the results of today's conference. I now request Mr. Vedansh Arora, Chairperson of Stakeholders Meet, and Mr. Aryan Jain, Vice Chairperson of Stakeholders Meet, to kindly declare the results of today's conference.
All right. Starting off as I should. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are audible.
All right. Thank you. So, as you probably know, and our wonderful hosts told you, I was the chairperson for the stakeholders meet. We were discussing about the COVID-19 pandemic and the impacts it has had in India, and we covered a variety of issues ranging from health, from its economic impact to the impact it has had on the social well-being of the civilians. And ironically, as much as I was told by the secretariat that this is a committee that consists of a majority of the first timers, it very clearly did not seem in the debate that it did. From starting out to a 3-minute opening statements, which for people who know is very big time limit for one introductory speech, to all the way getting up to passing out a unanimous press release. This committee was probably one of the most dynamic committees I've had. Also, a very big thank you to Dpsgbn for having me here. Um, Quoting from ma'am's speech in the morning, I don't know if she's there as of now, but when she talked about why do people do MUNs and why MUNs are important, she said something about development and change making, right? Why change making is important and how do we as MUNs contribute as change makers. Adding on to that, change making in the world is one side of the pillar, is one side that we're looking at. Another change, and a very important change that MUNs and especially MUNs like Dpsgbn making you, is the self-development that you have. Changing the world is the secondary thing, changing yourself is the primary thing. And that's what Dpsgbn and MUNs like this teach you. So kudos to the organizing committee for organizing such a great conference. Thank you, uh, Vithal and the entire secretariat for responding to our calls at 2 a.m. at night, for being with us the entire time. And yeah, with that being said, getting on to the interesting part, apologies for the past 3 minutes that I've bored you guys. This particular committee is having one best delegate, two high commendations. As discussed in the committee, both of them would have a cash prize split, followed by two special mentions and three verbal mentions. Unfortunately, Aaron wasn't able to join us because he had some other commitments. But again, a very big thanks to Aaron as well. He supported us throughout the committee, from moderating to writing or waiting to every little thing. Okay, about the awards, the three special mentions, starting off with the verbals. Right, the three verbal mentions in no particular order for this committee go to Hemanta Biswa Sarma, the CM of Assam. The other verbal mentions, again in no particular order. Also, I'd appreciate if we can give them a huge round of applause. They've worked really hard for this, and they honestly deserve it. Okay, the other verbal mentions go to Ashwini Vaishnav and Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Well deserved again. Okay, coming on to the special mentions, we have two special mentions, again in no particular order. The two special mentions go to one of the delegates who probably raised the most valid points in the committee, ranging from vaccine diplomacy to others. It goes to Mr. Shashi Tharoor. The other special mention for this committee again goes to a very well-deserved person, someone who was consistent throughout, Mr. Bhuvendra Yadav. Coming on to the high commendations, we have two high commendations, both of them again having a cash prize split. In no particular order again, one high commendation goes to a delegate who was probably the most active in the committee, from asking POIs to the unmods. It goes to Mr. Jyotiraditya Sindhya. Also, a very great research analysis paper. Thank you. Okay, the other high commendation for this committee goes to a delegate who, despite having one less speech than all the people in this award list, managed to be at the second place. And again, a very well-deserved position, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi. With that happening, as much as it's obvious now, I do not need to announce the best delegate. Someone who was someone who was on her toes from the time even before the committee started, all the way up till end, making press releases, forming blogs, making sure everything goes all right. Any guesses for the best delegate?
Dr. Randeep Guleria.
Dr. Randeep Guleria.
Dr. Randeep Guleria.
As you say, Dr. Randeep Guleria gets the best delegate for this committee. Well deserved. A cash prize of ₹1,000 and a best delegate. Thank you. Thank you for having me at the conference, guys. Looking forward.
Thank you for enriching this conference today. I now request Mr. Hardik Karbanda, Chairperson of United Nations Human Rights Council, and Mr. Madhav Madan, Vice Chairperson, to kindly declare the result of today's conference.
First of all, thanks for the introduction. And it's almost surreal to be part of this conference, precisely because I've been part of the Dpsgbn fraternity in my formative years, and to serve a school which has helped me grow so much, especially during my formative years, is a pleasure. It's a surreal feeling altogether, which I cannot begin to describe through my words. Speaking of this committee, I think speaking of this MUN as such, I have worked closely with the founders of this MUN, the people who have shaped this MUN the way it is. I think Ayush and Krish have been my childhood friends for quite some time now. I've seen Adit, Atulya grow and become mature individuals who are capable of organizing and even such a magnanimous event as big as this MUN. And specifically Vittal, who's been very very patient with me, who's heard my concerns, who's heard my tantrums, and he has still maintained a very calm demeanor. He's never really shown me any sort of ego, which is very commendable in a person as young as Vittal. So special mention for Vittal as well, and the rest of the organizing committee, which has done a great job organizing an event as large as this. Mostly in MUNs, people hesitate, especially in online MUNs, people hesitate to participate. They feel that MUNs are a waste of money, especially during the COVID pandemic. But to see about 38, 39 delegates participate in a committee like UNHRC is a great feat, and I think the organizing committee should be very, very proud of it. I'd also like to thank Monica ma'am and Nidhi ma'am, who taught me when I was in class 8th and 9th during my formative years, and thank you for allowing me to be part of this great event, this great MUN per se, which I've been part of in the past as well. And I'd like to thank the school management as well for giving me this opportunity to serve in the capacity of the chairperson and to guide young minds in what I feel is the most noble way to learn something that textbooks cannot teach you. Having said that, speaking of this committee per se, this committee was very enriching. The committee had a lot of first timers. It had experienced delegates as well. But the way the experienced delegates and the newcomers balance themselves is commendable. To see new solutions, creative solutions, because UNHRC is a solution-oriented committee and a solution-oriented body. To see new solutions come up through young minds, through newcomers, through first-timers, was an enriching experience. Even for me, it was a learning experience for me. I remember a delegate who's in class 7th who participated in an MUN, which is a great feat in itself. And to see such young minds, such young students participate in an event as complex, and to understand the intricacies of the Gaza Strip, the Palestinian side, the Israeli side, is something that I could have never done when I was in class 7. So kudos to all of that. And it was predominantly a committee dominated by first timers and young delegates who are not that experienced, but it was an altogether different experience to be in a position where I can lead them to a point where they can be even better delegates and possibly leaders in future who begin to develop our nation, our world in a way that ma'am spoke about in the morning as well. With that said, there are about 4 awards and 3 verbal mentions. The verbal mentions in no particular order. I'd also like to thank Madhav, who couldn't join us because he had some other events lined up, and he also had a class at 5:30. So, with no further ado, the verbal mentions in no particular order go to the delegate of Italy, the delegate of DPRK, who was probably the most active delegate in the committee, who was the most interactive delegate in the committee, delegate who was very much who was responsive to a chairperson, was a chairperson's delight, to be very honest, and the delegate of Sudan, who seemed like somebody who seemed like an ideal delegate, somebody who's in his formative years to be an ideal delegate, somebody who's bound to receive more accolades with great research, great analysis, and more importantly, a standpoint which is very, very unique, and somebody who learned about his portfolio well enough and could balance the tricky ledge between Israel and Palestine. So kudos to all the winners. The special mentions are in a particular order. The special mention one is shared by two delegates, the delegate of Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, both great delegates who put up great solutions, who put forth important points that were very, very critical for the committee and led to a point where all things converged at a very tricky impasse. The special mention two goes to the delegate of Israel, who was a great delegate with great oratory skills and somebody I learned a lot from, somebody who guided the youngsters in the committee, the first comers in the committee. And the high commendation awards are split between two delegates, the delegate of United Kingdom and the delegate of Jordan, uh, two delegates with an almost same marking stature with a zero point 0.5 marking difference. The cash prize will be split between them, 250 rupees each. And both delegates showed great stature, showed great potential with great research and analytical skills, most especially the chits that they wrote. It was almost a delight to read the amount of research they have, the way they've refined their research. It was almost a great experience to be the judge of that. And the best delegate goes to, which I found the delegate to be the most impressive delegate in the committee, somebody who was solutions oriented from the point go, somebody who understood uh, the trickiness in understanding the emotions of people who have been affected by crisis, as long as the Israeli-Palestine conflict, and somebody who was emotional enough to put forth her solutions in a way which is commendable, which is what is needed in a committee as emotional, as tricky as the UNHRC. The delegate who won the best delegate award is the delegate of United Arab Emirates. So congratulations to all the winners. If you need any feedback about your conduct in the committee, any feedback that I should get about the way I behaved, the way I was in the committee, feel free to text me at any point of time. It will be a great experience to reach out to you guys, to speak with you guys, to uh, give you feedback, to receive some feedback on my part. And congratulations to all winners. Congratulations to the winners of stakeholders meet, which I heard was a great committee with bustling debate. And I'd like to thank the organizing committee again. The teacher in charge is Monica ma'am, Nidhi ma'am, and all the teacher in charges involved in this magnanimous event. And thank you, Vittal, Atulya, Adit, for organizing this great event. So thank you so much.
Thank you for helping us raise the future leaders today. Heartiest congratulations to all the achievers. The essence of all beautiful art is gratitude. No one achieves success without the help of others. The wise and confident acknowledge this help with gratitude.
I would now like to request Adit Malhotra, the Deputy Secretary General of Dpsgbn MUN 2021, to propose the vote of thanks.
Yes, thank you so much. No matter what language you speak, a kind and smiling thank you always speaks to everyone's heart. I, Adit, on behalf of the entire team, consider it a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all the dignitaries who have witnessed this memorable event today. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge Mr. Vineet Nair, Ms. Reva Nair, and Mr. Shivanand, our esteemed chief guests, who took the time out of their busy schedule and showered us with the pearls of wisdom and knowledge. We are truly humbled by your presence. Thank you once again. A leader is someone who creates an event. Team members essentially bring life to it. The sales for this event was well adjusted by a person who was not only a great motivation, sorry, to all of us, but a visionary and the person who gave us the belief to bring together this conference. She's none other than our dear principal, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for believing in us and giving us this great platform. I also take this opportunity to extend a wholehearted thanks to all our mentor teachers and members of the Secretariat and the organizing committee, without whom this event would have been impossible. I would like to extend this heartfelt gratitude to all the members of the executive board who have joined us on this event and helped the students to enhance their debating skills. Furthermore, let's have a special recognition for all the delegates who have taken part in today's conference and for showing interest in discussing the issues we are currently facing in the real world. As the youth of today and the leaders of tomorrow, your interest has shown how much you are dedicated towards the future of the nation and the world. I'm grateful to each one of you who have contributed their tireless effort and cooperation to make this day a grand one. Thank you and have a nice day. But, my dear audience, we are not bidding a goodbye so soon. Please stay tuned for a surprise that shall bring to light a feeling, a wish, a longingness for a world where peace, love, and happiness reign.
Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikayalami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami
लेकिन वो तब तक देखते हैं मतलब अब तो नजर आ गया ना जब वो देखते तब देखते
A very thank you to all of you for joining us today.
broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go. I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain, going crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare, cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
'Cause when you're with me, baby, don't you see that I'm shining? 'Cause when you're with me, baby, it so hard to let you go? Let you
Oh, that.
So why is it so hard to let you go? So why is it so hard to let you go?
all know is due to the
average.
you can go ahead with how is this pandemic is
especially public sectors, and this sort of
Okay.
the vaccine distribution